Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of Sunday Night Swerve. This is posted on a Monday morning because it took a while to edit. But we are recording this on Father's Day, so to all dads out there, happy Father's Day, and to my dad, happy Father's Day.
Thank you, son. Happy Father's Day to all dads out there watching this. We appreciate you guys for tuning in.
He is my first ever special guest on Sunday Night Swerve, and we have a lot to talk about. Alright, let's kick it off. We have a lot to get into, but let's kick it off with what's confirmed, what matches are confirmed for Raw tomorrow. Now, we have the confirmed matches. If any more get confirmed, I will post them on my YouTube as a short or on my TikTok to cover that just as the singular matches and whatnot. But the first confirmed match is Liv Morgan versus Kairi Sane. I'm going to make all of my predictions for the confirmed matches, and then he is going to make his predictions. So for Liv Morgan versus Kairi Sane has already beaten Liv Morgan once. One half of me really does think that Liv Morgan is going to pull off the win, but the other half of me thinks that Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez are going to get involved, and I think that Kairi Sane will actually pull off this win because I think they're trying to set her up as a singles wrestler and break up the damage control, kind of. The next match is Sheamus versus Rusev versus Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed. For this match, it's very hectic, and I do think Jey Uso is going to come up with a win. Let's just get that out of the way right now. Sheamus and Rusev are going to be focused on each other the whole match because of their history and whatnot. Bronson Reed, it's very simple and clear that LA Knight's going to take him out since, him and Braun Breaker costed him his tournament. He's going to obviously take out Bronson Reed. Jey Uso is going to sneak the win, I think. I think that's how that match is going to go. The next match on the show, on the card, is an absolute banger, by the way. It's Asuka versus Stephanie Vaquer versus Raquel Rodriguez versus Ivy Nile. This match, Ivy Nile, I don't think she's going to win. I don't think Raquel Rodriguez is going to win. Roxanne Perez might, interfere. You never know what's going to happen. Accidentally cost her. Same thing with Liv Morgan. I think it's Stephanie's time. I know Asuka returned recently. I know all of that. I think somebody might get involved and cost her. But I know she just recently came back, and that's usually how that works. When wrestlers come back, they immediately win, their kickoff match. I don't think she's winning hers. I'm not even going to lie. Stephanie Vaquer, I think they're just trying to shoot her as far up as they can in the roster to make her look bigger. And what would make her more bigger than number one qualifying for Money in the Bank and then going back and qualifying or advancing for Queen of the Ring? I think this is the perfect opportunity for them to shoot the bullet on her and rise her to make her a superstar on the roster. Alright, now my dad's going to make his predictions. By the way, he usually gets these right, so, he got like 4 out of the 5 Money in the Bank matches right, so get ready for this.
I'm not the greatest, but I was 4 or 5 Money in the Bank. Starting off with what is confirmed, Liv Morgan versus Kairi Sane. I believe this is going to be a banger of a match, to be honest with you. Liv Morgan, she puts on some great matches, anytime she's in the ring, and then Kairi Sane as well. I believe she's highly underrated on the roster. It seems like the WWE creative team has struggled with what to do with Kairi Sane for a while now. I mean, since Asuka went down and got injured, they were a tag team, and then it seems like they've been trying to put her in positions to where she can stand on her own, and she's done great. But I believe that this is going to be a Liv Morgan match to win for sure. I do agree with my son here with what he said. I believe there's going to be some craziness at play. I do predict Raquel getting involved, Roxanne getting involved. Even on Kairi Sane's part, we may see Damage Control come out and it just be chaos at the ring. But I foresee these two women putting on a pretty crazy match with Liv Morgan pulling it off in the end. And then going on into the next confirmed match that we have, the Fatal 4-Way between Sheamus, Rusev, Big Bronson Reed, Jey Uso. As we all know, my man Jey just dropped his title last week, so he's going to be reeling from that. But with them entering him into this King of the Ring tournament, I don't see there being a world that exists out there where Jey doesn't pull off the win here. We'll start by saying I know this is going to be an absolute banger of a match. Anytime you have Jey Uso in a match, it's a banger, let alone adding in Big Bronson Reed and Sheamus and you've got Rusev. This just has all the recipe for, there to be an amazing match. But in the end, I do see my man Jay pulling it off. I think Sheamus is going to be kind of blinded by his hatred for Rusev and vice versa. I think there's going to be a lot there between Rusev and Sheamus, and it's going to distract them from the end goal. Big Bronson Reed, he's an amazing superstar. I think he's going to contribute to this match a lot. You're going to see Bronson really come out as a standalone superstar, as a singles guy. But in the end, I think Jay's going to pull it off. I wouldn't rule out some kind of interference from, this new faction that Seth's put together. By the way, just going off of that, I think it's time that we could all agree we need a name here. Something, they're all just Seth's lackeys, but it's about time that they put a name to this faction. They're building a lot of momentum. They've got a lot of, heavy hitters in this gang, so I think we need to come up with a name. But
2.0.
Either way, I think that it's going to be a banger of a match. I think they may get involved there, but Jay finds a way, and he pulls it off in the end. And then going on to the women's side of things, the Fatal 4-Way between Stephanie Vaquer, Raquel Rodriguez, Ivy Nile, and then the returning Asuka. I believe that the WWE should have done Asuka more justice. She's been out for a while, and they just kind of threw her in the picture there when they added this Queen of the Ring tournament and showed everybody. They didn't give her the, welcome home party that she deserves. Asuka's a great superstar. She's been contributing to the WWE for quite a while now and has put on some amazing matches. I think they owed her more of that, but because she hasn't gotten that, I think coming back, she's going to come back with something to prove. So I would look for her to do some amazing things in this match. But again, I do have to agree with my son as well on the Stephanie Vaquer angle. I think that she is going to be the one to pull this off here. We could all agree, I believe, she has done some great things since making the step up from NXT to the main roster. I would look for her to make a pretty deep run into this Queen of the Ring tournament. I don't know that I would be willing to say yet that she's the one that pulls it off, but I would say that I would not be surprised at all to see her in the finals. So just keep an eye on that. But in this match alone, I think it's going to be an absolute banger. Raquel Rodriguez has something to prove. Ivy Nile is still, on her way to trying to cement herself as a singles wrestler. Asuka as well, coming back from injury. She's going to have a lot to prove. So I'd look for that. But Stephanie Vaquer definitely pulls this one off.
All right, now, the next thing we are going to talk about is the King and Queen of the Ring predictions. I'm going to start off with the King of the Ring predictions. First of all, Sami Zayn versus Randy Orton.
Banger.
This might be a shocker, but I've been thinking into it a lot. I think Karrion's going to try to turn Sami heel again. I do think Sami does pull off the win, surprisingly. I think it costs Randy Orton. I think Sami Zayn does actually take advantage of him, putting a chair in the corner or something. I think he, genuinely takes advantage accidentally. I think Sami Zayn advances, and Randy Orton goes home upset. Jay versus Cody, and it's Jay because we predicted that he was going to win the Fatal 4-Way. Jey Uso versus Cody Rhodes. I think that at one point the ref gets knocked down or something like that. I think John Cena cost him, something like that. Travis Scott, John Cena, somebody like that that's in that general group cost Cody Rhodes. I think him and Jay really, I do think Jay's going to win the King of the Ring, which I'll talk about later. Both of them, I don't even know why they were in this, to be honest, because they both could have just easily gotten a rematch. Like Gunther, he got a rematch for no reason whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Jay could have gotten a rematch for no reason whatsoever. Cody could have gotten a rematch. Rematch clause. I don't know why they just threw him in here.
Champion's advantage for the rematch clause,
Yeah, I don't know why they did that. Now, I do think Jay's going to beat Cody. There we go. We have that. Jay's going to beat Cody from some interference, maybe even clean, which is a shocker. I think he might beat him clean. Jade Cargill, getting into the women's now. Jade Cargill versus Roxanne Perez. Call me crazy. I think Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez get involved, and it actually helps Roxanne. I think Roxanne beats Jade Cargill. Maybe a Naomi interference. Maybe Naomi tells her, stops her from getting close. She's this close to making it to the finals, and Naomi interferes. But I do think Roxanne Perez, the rookie, takes off this win. Alexa Bliss versus Stephanie Vercare. We predicted Stephanie because of the women's Fatal 4-Way. I do think that Alexa Bliss pulls off this win in a shocker. I think Alexa Bliss pulls it off. Because I don't think Stephanie Vercare is a great woman. Like, a great addition to the roster. She's great, but she's a rookie going up against, debatably, in my opinion, one of the best women's wrestlers of all time. Alexa Bliss is a legend. She's great. Stephanie Vercare is great. She's way up here. But Alexa Bliss is double that. Alexa Bliss is a legend. I don't see her beating her one-on-one. I think they're going to play this story of how Stephanie Vercare, kind of like Jey Uso did for years and years, gets very close. Super duper close. I don't think they're going to do it for years, but she gets super duper close because she's gotten super close in Money in the Bank and super close that I'm going to predict in Queen of the Ring. I think she gets close and she fails. I think Alexa Bliss wins this one. Now, for my winner for King of the Ring, I think what's going to happen, Sami Zayn versus Randy Orton. I talked about how in a hypothetical, I'm about to take you guys on a swerve here. I said that Karrion Kross gets involved and Randy Orton loses, sadly, because Sami takes advantage. Yeah, I'm going to swerve that up because I did post a video recently. Swerve it up. He might be a little shocked too. Karrion Kross is taking Sami Zayn out. It's going to be Karrion Kross versus Randy Orton. Karrion Kross, in an absolute shocker, is going to beat Randy Orton. Everybody's going to be questioning who took Sami out before the match. Oh, Karrion took his spot. It's got to be Karrion, right? Yeah. Karrion, when he goes against Jey, Sami Zayn's going to take out Karrion at a point in the match. Jey is going to pull off the win. Later down the line, it's going to lead to a triple threat between Karrion Kross, Sami Zayn, and Jey Uso. But I do think Karrion takes Sami's spot. I do think Jey wins the whole entire thing. Jey goes against Gunther. Goldberg return. Jey beats Gunther. I think that's how that works. Now for the Queen of the Ring. This one, pretty down forward, simple. Roxanne Perez has faced Alexa Bliss before, and she has lost against Alexa Bliss. I do think that Roxanne, when she somehow gets past Jade Cargill, goes against Alexa and loses. Alexa wins the whole thing. Roxanne Perez on the next Raw or a backstage angle or something goes to walk backstage past Judgment Day's clubhouse or something, and Liv Morgan trashes her on it. Oh, you lost to Alexa Bliss. I think in the future, when Alexa Bliss is a champ, I think Rhea Ripley gets the championship eventually, leading to an Alexa Bliss versus Rhea Ripley. Alexa Bliss wins. I think down the line, something like that will happen to Liv, and it'll be the same story. Roxanne dogging on her. I think that's how that works. So those are my predictions. It's on to him now.
It's definitely interesting. Definitely. So, getting into my predictions, let's jump right into the King of the Ring. So what we're looking at so far is Sami Zayn versus Randy Orton. This is a match that we already know is set from the qualifiers that have already happened. I believe this is going to be an absolutely amazing match. Sami Zayn, he's great. He's extremely underrated, in my opinion. He's one of those guys that's been everywhere on the mid-card. As we know, he's been Intercontinental Champion. He's had matches with, the who's who of WWE. Cody Rhodes, just all across the board. He's had some great matches. I would have to say that Randy pulls this one off. I believe the way that the WWE has been booking here recently, that whole Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes segment that they did last week, there's something to that. You know what I mean? They're trying to build the momentum here and test the waters and see fans' reactions. So I do see the WWE going that way. I think Randy pulls this off. I think he does get it with there being some kind of interference. As we all know, we've had some issues with Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. I believe this is the time that Killer Kross comes back and he actually puts hands on Sami or costs Sami the match in some kind of way, shape, or form to go ahead and add fuel to that beef, So I believe Randy pulls it off and advances here. Sami unfortunately loses, but that sets him up for an amazing storyline with Karrion Kross over the next few weeks, months. I don't know where they're going with that one, but I know they're trying to get Karrion more involved, and they've been dabbling in it for a while now, so I think this is where they pull the trigger. Now going on to the other side of the men's, as I predicted, Jey Uso to pull off the win in this week's Fatal 4-Way. That'll advance him on to the awaiting Cody Rhodes, who won on SmackDown. I think this is going to be an amazing match. We have all seen, even recently, they just had a Jey and Cody tag team match. They've been kind of boosting up and pushing that friendship in our faces, saying, hey, showing us how close Jey and Cody really are, and we know they're all close. They're both close. I mean, they've been tag team champions. I think this is a match that kind of cements both of them. It shows that Cody's willing to do whatever he has to do to get back to that title that he lost. And then on the Jey side of it as well, Jey's coming off of just dropping his World Heavyweight title, and it kind of cements him as well. As we have seen, Gunther, when they built up this story, when Jey just dropped the title, they built it around Jey Uso putting more focus on helping his friends out instead of paying attention to himself and his title. And ultimately, it cost him his championship. So I think this right here is where they finally break that mold, and they allow Jey Uso to prove himself of, hey, I'm focused on getting my title back. Cody and I are friends, but we're going to throw down. I do think, unfortunately, that Cody Rhodes pulls this off. Jey Uso is going to get back to his title, I believe. I just don't see it being here. I think we are headed for that Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton finale, which would be an amazing match. But I think that's the way that they're going to head, unfortunately. I don't know how they pull it off. I don't know if Jey gets interfered on or if they allow Cody to beat him clean, which I don't quite see at this point, but maybe. But either way, I see Cody Rhodes definitely pulling off the W here. And now bouncing over to the women's side, confirmed right now, we know we have Jade Cargill versus Roxanne Perez. This is going to be an absolute heater of a match. Jade Cargill, she is shown to be just this powerhouse within the WWE. And then Roxanne Perez as well. She was great on the NXT side of things. And then since she has stepped up into the main roster, she's put on some great matches. She's shown herself to be a great singles wrestler. This is going to be a difficult one, but I would have to agree with my son here. I think there is some interference with Naomi. I don't see there being a world where Naomi allows Jade Cargill to pull this off in advance. So I do think Roxanne Perez will get away with the win here. I don't know what the WWE's plan for her is. I do not see her being able to win it all, but I do see her advancing. And then on the opposite end of that coin, Alexa Bliss, who is already qualified, versus Stephanie Vaquer, who we are predicting wins this Fatal 4-Way on Raw. This is going to be another just absolute banger of a match. I mean, Alexa Bliss, she is a legend. We all know this. She is just, her list of accolades are a mile long. She is a great wrestler. She's known for putting on great matches. And then Stephanie Vaquer, she's the rookie. She just stepped up to the main roster. They're trying to cement her as a single superstar and a competitor in the women's division. This is going to be a difficult match here. I would have to say that Alexa Bliss, my mind wants to say Alexa pulls it off, but if you've paid attention over the past couple of weeks, they've been building up this feud between Alexa and Charlotte Flair. The way Alexa pulled off the victory to advance in the tournament is what makes me believe that she loses to Vaquer here. Charlotte was upset. Kind of feels like Alexa stole the win from her. I do not see Charlotte allowing Alexa Bliss to pull off the win here. So that leaves us with Stephanie Vaquer and Roxanne Perez. I mean, two NXT superstars moving up to the main roster and then immediately being in the finale for Queen of the Ring. It's just, it's crazy. It's an insane prediction, but that's the way I'm going to go. I think we're going to see a Stephanie Vaquer versus Roxanne Perez NXT finale for the Queen of the Ring. I think that's how it's going to go. So I guess that brings us to predicting the winners of each one. So on the men's side, King of the Ring, I have predicted that it's going to come down to a Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton absolute throwdown. I think Cody pulls this one off. I would love to see Randy win it. but I think what they're trying to build up to is that Cody Rhodes rematch with John Cena in the end. Everybody knows they've turned John Cena into this mega heel. Cody Rhodes, love him or hate him, he's the biggest babyface in the company, outside of Jey Uso. But Cody Rhodes is just, he's that upper echelon of babyface right now. So I think Cody pulls it off. You're going to have a King Cody on the women's side, winner of Queen of the Ring. You've got Roxanne Perez and Stephanie Vaquer, 2 NXT women, stepping up to the main roster. Right there immediately in the title picture. I think Stephanie pulls this one off. They're putting a lot of heat behind her. Roxanne Perez, she is going to be an amazing superstar. She is going to hold her fair share of titles, but I believe that there's going to be some kind of interference here. I believe what they're building up to is the implosion of the Judgment Day from the inside out. I believe we're going to see a lot of twists and turns here with the Judgment Day. I believe we're going to get Demon Balor back. I believe we're going to have a split. You're going to see Liv and Raquel lose their titles. You're going to see Dominic kind of go out on his own with his Intercontinental. I believe we're going to have that's a story for another video, but I definitely see Stephanie Vaquer pulling this one off and knocking off Roxanne Perez and becoming Queen of the Ring. And that's my predictions.
Thank you guys for watching this video.
We appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Thanks again.
Hey,
Appreciate you for having me on.
And oh yeah.
Yeet!